decision to come back for another year?
I think I was just, kind of going over what happened last year, and
Whoa, hey, hold on a second now. What was just said? We got a lot to talk about, hockey fans. We'll see you in a second.
Decision to come back for another year?
I think I was just, kind of going over what happened last year, and for the team and me personally, I thought it was a good fit. So looking forward to build off that for another year. Obviously it was a pretty crazy end to the year, and just missed the playoffs by a point. So it'll be nice to kind of start building off that right from training camp. I think for me personally, having a full training camp and coming in healthy and feeling good will be big for me and big for the team. So just looking forward to building on what we kind of accomplished last year, and for me personally, I thought it was a good fit too.
Once the first half hour or so of free agency, all so many big names fell. Once Tarasenko was left, did you reach out to him, or he was just on talking about how excited he is to play with you? How did that conversation kind of evolve between the two of you about him coming to Detroit?
Yeah, so I think I didn't really know that it was an option. His wife reached out to Amanda and said that Detroit seemed interested. So obviously you get excited about that, and then Steve called me as well, just asking about him as a player, and I think he's going to be so good for the group. Obviously, he's a proven winner, but I think just the way he plays, how hard he plays, is I think a lot of players in general, not just young guys, but the whole team will see how hard he works and how much effort he gives every shift, and that's why he has a couple Stanley Cups to his name too. So I think just adding that winning presence is going to be huge for the group.
Lastly, did you have conversations with Steve about just how competitive the team would be? I mean, anything can happen in free agency, and they did lose a couple of key players, but just some kind of what his vision was for how the team might be reshaped but still be competitive and chasing a playoff spot.
Yeah, I think we all want to build on last year, so that was the message I got as well. And I think there's definitely expectations going into this season, so that's always a good thing. You want those expectations. You want whether it's the fans or the media or just players in general to expect the team and the organization to take the next step. So excited about being a part of that, and hopefully getting the chance to have a good regular season, play playoff hockey again. I think the LCA is just an amazing place to play. I can't even imagine what it would be like in the playoffs. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Rachel?
Hi, Patrick. Thanks for taking the time. In your chats with Tarasenko, I know it's so big to move his family here and to have programs for his kids and stuff. He also mentioned that he never would have thought that you guys could possibly have the opportunity to play on the same line together. I know we'll kind of see how those things shape up, but when you think about that potentially, what does that do for you?
No, I think it'd be a good fit. I mean, I know we both are natural right wingers, kind of left-handed shots playing the offside, but I think when you're playing hockey, it doesn't really matter what position you're in, right? So, one of us would have to make the move. But I think it would be a good fit, just the way he plays. He's obviously a skilled guy, a great shooter, but he works so hard. He's hard on pucks. He wins a lot of pucks back, and he's got a great knack for getting open as well. So I think it'd be a good fit. And then, we just kind of relayed the message that it was similar to New York in a way, kind of like the Greenwich, Connecticut area. I think the suburbs in Detroit are unbelievable. Even, I lived there when I was 14, but when I came back, I didn't realize, how nice they were, and what a great spot it is to live, raise a family, have a lot of options, whether it's, playing hockey or the schools at your disposal. And then, I really like how the rink is set up with, having the practice rink and the game rink all in one venue. Like I said before, the LCA is an amazing place to play. So, and I think the organization treats you first class. So there's really a lot of good things going to, if you're a free agent or if you're a player and you want to come to the Red Wings, there's a lot of positives.
Sure. And back to those 14-year-old days, obviously Vlad wants to get his kids in the local programs here. Did you sell a honey baked at all?
Not yet. It was, I think for me, when I was, 14, it was a difficult decision to come and move away as you're going into high school. Usually kids at that age are excited to be going to high school with all their friends. I didn't know anyone I was going to school with, so it was a bit of a change, but, it was such a great decision for me to come to the Detroit area and play for Honey Baked. And you really can't go wrong with the organization you pick, right? I mean, there's so many good organizations for youth hockey in Detroit. And, luckily enough, I had a great coach in Donnie Harkins, and Pat Verbeek obviously was able to live with him. So that was, amazing, so special, forming that bond with him and learning from him. And like I said, it was a great decision for me. So hopefully his kids feel the same way and have the same success story. Sure.
And last but not least, how are you feeling in your off-season program right now? Obviously, you're excited to have that full camp, but where do you feel like you're at physically after, assumedly, some time off?
No, I feel really good. I'm really happy with how I'm feeling with, my body, and just the hip becoming part of my body now, and just kind of feeling like it's all one is something I've kind of been searching for, throughout the first year of the process and after surgery, and, feeling good, feeling fresh. I think, my goal is to take it to another level next year too.
Awesome. Thanks, Patrick.
Answer?
Yeah, hi, Patrick. You're talking about being healthy in the off season, obviously important for every player, but can you kind of describe just the difference it can make when a guy has a full season of health and a full summer of training, how much of a difference that can make going into training camp in this season and just having training camp?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously last year after surgery, I felt better and didn't feel the pain, but was still building like the strength and just kind of understanding how the hip was going to work. Probably even all the way through the season, to be honest with you. I think it was, a big accomplishment that I didn't feel that pain, but just kind of getting to understand it was something that I was always working on. So I feel like I'm kind of at that point now. I'm starting to get on the ice a little bit now too, and see how good I really feel and see what things I need to work on. So that's the next step of the process. But staying healthy and being healthy going into the season is just huge. Even throughout the off season, I think sometimes you want to push it, you want to see how hard you can go, but you never really want to tiptoe that line of becoming injured or causing problems with your body or having any setbacks. So being healthy is huge, not only for me, like you said, but for any hockey player going into the season. And just obviously going into training camp, you're excited to get back and you can work on things. And I skated a lot last summer, but it wasn't at the point where I was with 25 other pro hockey players, or I was pretty much by myself or with one other guy, or maybe playing some 3-on-3 or 5-on-5. So now it's you'll be in that team environment and working with the guys every day. I think it's going to be huge for me.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yep.
Mosey?
Hey, Kaner. At the end of the season, you talked about just being put in a good fit and position to succeed with this club. Going into next season now, having some familiarity, comfortability, do you envision that fit evolving or shifting or changing at all for you?
No, I don't think it'll change really. I think it just kind of build on it. Maybe I'm leaned on a little bit more by the coaching staff in certain areas, or even, in the locker room or leadership role, things like that. Obviously I'm 35, going to be turning 36 this year. So, I've been around for quite a bit, and, feel like I can bring that leadership aspect to the group and just kind of help the group along, whether it's in good times or bad times. But, those are discussions to be had with the coaching staff, or even with, leadership group or other players, and just kind of see how it feels too, right? I think you go off feel in those situations and what needs to be said or doesn't. And, for me right now, I think the main focus is just getting as ready as I possibly can for the season to take that next step to my game and get to that next level that I want to be at. I thought it was, like you said, it was a good fit on and off the ice, and had a lot of opportunity to play in some good situations, whether it was power play or top 6 minutes, and just want to take it to the next level next year.
Thank you.
Sean?
Hey, Patrick. So you were eligible this year to sign the 35-plus contract, and the deal is set up where obviously this was Steve and your agent kind of figured this stuff out too, but I know you're really involved in figuring out team picture and everything. I'm curious if that's something that came to mind for you, of structuring something where there is some more space for the team to do something, and with 2.5 that could be moved a year down the line. I'm wondering how much you looked at something like that, because I always know you look at roster construction and things like that, and now being eligible for a contract like that, is that something that you thought about at all?
Yeah, I think, after the year, you kind of set your mind on maybe getting like a longer term deal or something like that, and then you start thinking about it. And obviously I'm 35, so I think it works both ways. I can sign a 1-year deal, take advantage of the bonuses, not only for myself, but it kind of helps the team too, right, to have the lower AAV. So that's something that we just talked about with my agent, Pat Brisson, and thought that maybe that was a good road to go, and kind of take advantage of being able to use those bonuses for a year.
And then last one for me, did you ever you signed before July 1st, was it something though that you ever thought about maybe going to July 1st? Was that anything that was ever close for you?
Yeah, I guess you never really know how the negotiations are going to shake out, or if it's going to get to a point where you can agree to something. But no, I was happy we were able to kind of work it out the last 2 or 3 days there. And for me, my heart was set on coming to Detroit and being back in Detroit. I thought it was a good fit last year. Loved the team. We were really comfortable living there. I love the fans. I thought the fans really embraced me too. I thought it was, you never really know what to expect, right? When, especially from me being in Chicago for so long, and coming to Detroit, I know that's a huge rivalry, but just the embrace of the fans was incredible. So just looking back at some of the moments and things that you kind of go throughout the year, even like some of the calls Ken Daniels had, right? Like he's I can watch those clips for the rest of my life just because of the call that he had on some of those goals I scored, and overtime goals, or just obviously the one in Chicago especially. But those are moments that kind of give you chills, and when you have that feeling, it's like you want to continue that on and create more of those moments. So and it's not only just about me, right? Like I feel like it was a good fit for me, but I also feel like it was a good fit for the team, and feel like I fit in well with the lineup and with the players and the guys. So I was looking forward to just kind of building on what we went through last year.
Thank you.
Max?
Hey, Patrick, you talked about reflecting on the way last season ended. I'm curious, are there 1 or 2 areas you think you guys can really take steps to get on the other side of that line this time around?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can be better. I think we can be better on the power play. I think we can be a top 5 unit. I think that would be a good goal. I know we were maybe around 10 last year, which is still pretty good, but I still think we can be even better. I think I can be better on the power play as well. you look back at numbers. I think I only had 2 goals on the power play, so I had 18 even strength goals in 20 games, which is, you feel like pretty good, but it should be bolstered up a little bit because you should have more success on the power play. So, looking forward to building off that. Obviously, we feel we can be a better group defensively as well. That's always a key component to winning and getting into playoffs, and that's on everyone, right? Not just the guys that are in that role, but everyone needs to play better defensively. So I'm sure we'll go through that as a team and how we want to play in those situations. And to me, I think we have a lot of depth. Like even last year when I came, I was surprised at the contributions that the team would get from the third and fourth line and key goals here or there. It wasn't like there was so much pressure on 1 or 2 guys, but there's a lot of depth on the team. So we're able to fill the net pretty good. Just got to maybe control the play a little bit more, play a little bit better defensively, and we always want to be better on special teams.
And then I think you played with Eric Gustafson in Chicago. What does he bring, especially on the power play, like you were just talking about?
Yeah, a lot of potential. I played with him a year in Chicago. He had 60 points. He was a key component to our power play as well. He was so deceptive up top. Really knows how to run the top. Maybe as good as anyone I've played with, to be honest with you. Obviously, Fox is special, and I think Mo does a good job as well. But to have those options up there with Gus and Mo and see how we can form power play units and have success. I think having that familiarity with Gus, and obviously when we had a good power play there, DeBrincat was on the other side as well. So maybe that's something we look at. But he's really, really good hockey player. Great offensively, makes a lot of good passes, a lot of good plays, and I know he's been really working on his defensive game too, and he's strong in that area too.
Thanks, Patrick.
We've got time for 2 more. We'll go to Ted first, and then the last question will be bobbed up.
Hey, Patrick, I think you made Ken Daniels' day, I think, with that shout out. It sounded like at the end of the season that term was going to be pretty important for you. You're just not moving around and all that. Settling for the 1 year, how did that come about now?
Well, I think just we were looking back on kind of what I've been through and what the family has been through in the past 18 plus months. Obviously you're in Chicago for, whatever it was, 16 or 17 years. You go to New York. Then I had go to New York for a couple of months. Then I had the surgery, and I was rehabbing in Toronto. And then he had to pick a new team, and I went to Detroit. And I was there for 50 games, and then all that happened within 18 months, right? So if I did a 1-year deal, it wasn't like it was going to seem very short or anything like that. Like especially with what we've been through, and like I said, just being 35 now and being able to take advantage of the bonuses, not only for myself personally, but for the team as well. I thought it was a good road to go down, and I still think it's a pretty fair deal. I think as you get older, like for me, it's not like I feel like I'm only going to play 1 more year and then be done. I still feel like I have a lot of hockey left, but I think we kind of settled on the 1 year and then kind of built it off the bonus structure, right? So that was a smart way to go for both sides.
Hey, really quick, do you and Alex have another gear, you think? Or it seemed like you guys pretty much picked up where you left off in Chicago, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. And we'll spend some time together this summer and work out and skate together and talk about things and just always trying to improve that chemistry. He's a kid that I really like being around off the ice, but I still think we have a lot of chemistry on the ice as well, and I still think we can be even better. So, always trying to get to another level.
Thanks for this, Patrick.
Problem.
Last question.
Patrick, there was so much uncertainty in your life at this time last year. Would you be able to still play, and where you were going to be playing? having all that put aside now, you know you can still be who you were as a player and you know where you're going to be playing this season. How much value is there in that peace of mind as you prepare for next season?
Yeah, it feels like any other offseason. I think just getting back to training and training like an athlete, and not worrying about just rehabbing or working on the hip or how much I'm going to skate, if I'm wearing down my body, things like that. I can just pretty much go as I please now and just keep training and start getting on the ice, start working on the game. And, like I said, it feels like another off season where you want to take the next step as a player. So that's kind of where I'm at now, instead of worrying about, the hip regressing or where I'm at with that. And, when the right time is to make a move. So like you said, all that's in the past and you can just focus on playing now.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. A lot of mixed feelings about this one here. Were you guys listening? Were you paying attention? Because look, there's going to be some things people are going to agree with here, and there are things that people are going to disagree with. In any kind of situation, in any scenario that you are in your life, that's what's going to happen. Okay? People will agree, people will disagree. Okay? And, some may argue that perhaps some things may have been said here that perhaps should not have been said. But I'm sure, like I said, some will agree, others will disagree. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Who is your favorite NHL player of all time? Retired or current? I'm curious. I want to hear from you.
Whoa, dude, before you go. If you love watching hockey as much as we do, hit that free subscribe button real quick and turn on those rad notification thingies. You love free stuff. We love free stuff. You love hockey. We love hockey too, dude. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It lets us know you care.